showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
What up, what's going on? We are here again, enjoying ourselves this fine Wednesday day. What is it? Or whenever you are listening to the show. We come out every Wednesday trying to come with that fresh music, fresh topics, and all that freshness. Yes, this is your host, Nova Phoenix, on GCOM Radio, on Give It Back to Me, iHeartRadio, on all the other streaming platforms. What is going on, guys? What's going on? And ladies, how has your week been? Hopefully cool. Hopefully you are not wilding out like some other folks around the country. Hopefully you are being very productive. Hopefully you are catching up on your movies. Hopefully you are in your mode of reset. Yeah, so just to let you guys know, we finally dropped our promo commercial, The Reset. And this is all in the good spirits and trying to raise the spirits of folks that are going through all that they are going through during this coronavirus ordeal. And I thought it was a great opportunity to really connect with people out there, because what else are we going to do but be home? And we're going to do all these other things, and we're going to be on Zoom, we're going to be on Netflix, we're going to be online on social media, and here's one more opportunity for people to connect. And it's us. And if you guys want to complain about Facebook all the time, you guys complain, oh my God, Facebook is doing this and Facebook is doing that and all wrong. And where y'all at on Facebook? That's why I'll be upset, because I see it. I got an FB page. So I see it, and I see people complaining and the news articles sharing of what FB is doing, like sharing their data or corralling people with specific ideas and all these other things that get them shut down. And I'm like, okay, I'm not with it. If you guys feel that Facebook is not giving you what you should as a user, then leave. And I've always told people, and it's hopefully this goes around a lot, in the age of the internet, ignorance is a choice. It is a choice. Whatever that you do is a choice. You don't like something, pivot, leave, start your own thing. And that's what I feel as an owner, founder of Lyfeblood.com. That if I know that there's things that are going wrong, I don't care. Sweater, that's their platform. Who cares? That's YouTube. That's Facebook. I'll do my own thing. And this is the very beginning anyway. Eventually, we will expand as we grow. We will expand and we'll change. And we're going to pivot and move away. Because just to jump ahead of the folks, but you're kind of like Facebook. No, we're not like Facebook, even in our mission statement. We may have some similarities in how we do things, but at the very beginning, but eventually we will branch off and do our own thing, because I don't want to be compared to Facebook, because that's not what we're here to do. Oh my God, I'm hearing some feedback on my microphone, and this is the first time I'm ever hearing this, and it's killing me. As I'm talking to you guys, I hear this. Oh my God, does that mean I have to get another microphone? It's like in the background. I hear it, but I'm gonna push through and get things and get this show over and done with. All right, so let's get this show on the road and get with these opening mentions. All right, so I just saw on the news a black man by the name of Ahmaud Arbery was shot by two white men named Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael. That is a travesty down in Florida. Let me see if I can pull up this information here. It's quite unfortunate that this took place. And he was running along, and what happened was one was the father and one was the son. And they saw this guy running down the road or wherever they were at down. I think it was in Florida. And they said he looked like he matched the description of some guy that was a burglar. It's always that stupid ass excuse. of some burglar a week before, a week and a half before. Not yesterday, not 6 hours before, a week and a half before. They went and grabbed their gun. One grabbed the shotgun, another grabbed his 357 Magnum, ran down on this dude, and had a third guy in the truck, ran down this guy and said, hey, I want to speak to you, or whatever the case. Of course, if you're the runner and you see a guy with a shotgun and a 357 pull up on you in the pickup truck, it's either fight or flight. Either you going to be like, yo, get the fuck out of here with that, or you're going to try to book it. Because of course you're thinking the worst, like, yo, I don't want to get killed. And that's exactly what happened. Supposedly the men said there was a tussle or something or other, and the gun went off and killed this man. And they're saying they're using the stand your ground law. How familiar is that? Do you remember that stand your ground law? Yeah, it's the same thing that happened to with this Zimmerman cat that he used against Trayvon Martin. And that is what's happening. Now, I think this happened in like South Georgia, right? It happened in Georgia. It was crazy. So, they got this guy, Lee Merritt, one of these civil rights activists, lawyers, or whatever the case, taking on this case and representing the family. It's seriously a problem. I'm hoping that there's justice to this young man, and that's what I'm gathering right now as far as the initial information is coming down, because this just recently happened. I think this article that I had was May 1st. And I just caught wind of this probably probably the day after catching this information. And it's really early right now. But obviously, when you read up on this case, of course, just Google Ahmaud, Ahmaud, Arbery, Arbery. You'll find out just by Googling his name. And it's really sad that this brother got killed because there's two gun-crazed racist nuts over here. And then we'll get into more detail as I get more information. Probably just make it that the whole segment. And hopefully I can get in contact with somebody and have them on the show. On the next one, it's official. Versus battle. Everybody knows the versus battle is put on with Timbaland and Swizz Beatz. The next one up to date. And I was asking for this. I was like, yo, I'm being serious. I was like, where's the women at? Where the women at? We got a lot of dudes doing the verses, but now we got Erykah Badu and Jill Scott coming May 9th. Yo, that's going to be crazy. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. That's two titans, man. Two titans in an online room just sharing the music. So I'm definitely got my day booked. I'm listening to that. I'm telling you. And I don't know who to pick. I met Jill Scott. I went to the I can't remember if I met Erykah, but I definitely did bump into Jill Scott. I had a little short exchange because it was the what's his name? Dave Chappelle block party in Brooklyn, and I was in the green room and stuff like that. So and I saw Jill Scott flowing on air. She was coming in all her regalness, queendom. So I'm looking forward to hearing some of that. Okay, so what up? The up and coming. Shout out to the up and coming Clarissa Shields from Flint, Michigan. She's a woman boxer, and there's little rumblings going on that she wants to take on Layla Ali. And I read that, she wasn't really stressing Layla. She always respected her, of course, being the daughter of Muhammad Ali and her doing her own thing in the ring. And but then Layla started calling her out. So I'm like, what? Now they getting at each other, getting in their zone, trying to, reach over each other, trying to get this battle royale going. And shout out to Clarissa Shields, man. She's a beast in the ring. She's doing the thing for the ladies. So I'm looking forward to see how this turns out. That'll be interesting. I'll definitely tune into that fight or anything that Clarissa does. She's the new blood, she's young blood. You know what I mean? What else is going on? Trump. Oh my God. Look, I got so many words for this guy. Sometimes when I talk about him, I can't even come up with enough bad adjectives to put in front of this fool's name. I swear, I don't even know how we got here. How the hell we got here? I remember that night in 2016. I'm like, this dude is going to pull this. Oh my God, it's an upset. It was the upset. I'm like, oh, nah, he ain't nobody taking this dude serious. And he gets in. Yo, that's crazy. So anyway, this dude was actually blaming the Obama. This guy is seriously obsessed with Barack Obama. Seriously obsessed with this guy. This guy blames the Obama administration for broken COVID tests or the broken tests to test for COVID. And yeah, it's amazing. It is utterly amazing how this guy cannot take any blame or responsibility for any of the trip ups that he's had in the last 3.5 years. I hope. Oh my God, it's crazy, man. I got no words for this guy. There's every time he gets on a mic, when he does press conferences, every time this dude when he twitters, everything. Oh my God, it's crazy. And lastly, Sony is creating their own superhero universe. Yo, that's gonna be something to look after. It's about time. But they got this corny name for it. I thought they were gonna call it Spider-Verse. They call it like Sony Presents Marvel, whatever. Some crazy long whatchamacallit name. But it'll be interesting to see. Because Spider-Man's been with Sony, but no, MCU is kicking off, and the MCU did their own. Well, they got the Spider-Man, joints jumping off. I forgot the name of the latest actor, that Tom Holland. And now Sony wants to do their thing. So hey, man. I'm all for it. Let's just make it make sense. So anyway, let's get to the first segment of the show. So I saw this snippet of this TV show. I don't know where I saw it, but it was two young folk discussing an end to their relationship on camera. So it was black and white, and as far as the setting is concerned, but then there are also other cameras positioned, focusing in on the hosts behind the scenes. And every now and then, as the conversation was happening, the host would chime in saying, "Hey, what do you feel about the?" I don't know where I saw this from. I saw a clip of it on my IG as I was just strolling through IG, and I thought it was interesting. So yeah, so the guy is just like moving his head right and left, and he's just like deflecting all the questions that this young lady was asking him, like, why do you ghost me? You with these other women, and why you treat me like that? Now let me tell you something. I'm not, I wouldn't say an OG in the game, or OG. I was gonna say old G, and OG too. They go either way. But I quickly, even if I didn't have an idea of her face, right, or didn't see her face, I know just from the questions that she was asking that she was young. And she reminded me of my daughter. My daughter's way young. She's, in the single digits. And I know eventually as a father, I'm going to have these conversations with my daughter as she gets older. But definitely one of the things that kind of sparked my thought was, what are the 5, and I came up with 5 red flags of a bad relationship. And I'm going to come from my point of view as a man. So women don't trip out, please. This is just my take. Now, I'm not saying, look, next week or something, maybe we'll do it on guys. But for right now, let's just do it from the standpoint, from a man's point of view. Because we always do from women anyway, how men be fucking up, because men be fucking up all the time, but women, y'all be fucking up too. And I gotta say this, number one, women are too emotional. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Women are too emotional. How could he say that? He don't know what he talk. No, some women can be too emotional, man. Women are emotional creatures. Of course, let's be real. And I'm not trying to tell women not to be women. But it's like women being emotional, or telling women not to be emotional, is like trying to tell a flower not to bloom, or a tide not to rise, or ants not to build nests. Women are emotional creatures, but I'm just saying, rein it in. Just check it. You know what I mean? And I've been on plenty times on the receiving end of getting the emotional darts thrown at me as a guy. And I think women should think like women, but also act like men at times. Just be cool, be chill. If you feel like your emotions are gonna peak and skyrocket and go through, just relax, relate, release, back up. Sometimes a man need his space. I know, man. Hey, I was going to say, you know, men be fucking up. But I'm saying, for y'all women, just to kind of, you know, get in your zen mode, you know, and try to peel it back. Because sometimes we be chilling on the couch and, boy, we don't even know what's going on. I mean, we be watching TV shows, and all of a sudden, wow, the argument starts, and we're like, huh? What? What's the problem? yo, just sometimes you guys do get in your feelings extra. And again, I'm just saying, please, you ladies, you know, try to help us out. Help us. We don't know the layers that we have to peel back just so we can understand how you guys are feeling. And one of the key things that I've seen that women say is, oh, if you don't know what I have a problem with, then I'm not going to tell you. Oh my God, you don't understand how much that gets under my skin. What? I'm not a mind reader. You gotta tell me what's going on so I can, all right, meet you middle ground in the middle right here, toe to toe. Let me know so we don't have to go around in circles trying to figure out why you're upset. Okay, let's move on. 2, you can't have your cake and eat it too, all right? It's women's equality, women, all right, we get it. We understand we're fucked up. It's a male-dominated society. We are dripping in patriarchy. We get it. As a man, we do. Not saying all men, but a good portion of us. But you gotta be fair too, man. All right? You gotta be fair too. Women can't make the money because there are women that's making the bread more so than some of their counterparts, more of their spouses or whoever. But you can't expect a brother to pay for dinner. Why don't women take men out? Like, if you see a dude that you really dig, take men out. It's okay. I hear that. Next, men should cook, but won't make a hot dog for a brother. Men should cook, but you don't want to make a hot dog for men. A hot dog. A small hot, a little something. We're not saying, when we ask you to cook, we're not saying for you to be barefoot and pregnant and doing all that. We're just saying, hey, do me a favor, could you make me something to eat? Because I can make you something to eat. All right? I'm just saying, just be fair. Women, what else? Women that earn as much as men shouldn't have to pay the lion's share of the bills. You know how that saying go. What he said, my money is my money and your money is my money. Hey, man, come on. We're not a bank here. So you get to save all your money and we can't. Flags of a bad relationship. What else have we got going on? Number 3, we're going to race through it because we're going to keep time. Clingy women, don't be clingy. Don't be clingy. Give us some space. Let us watch our sports games. Let us watch our shows. Let us sit on the couch if we want to eat cheese doodles or whatever. Give us some space. Don't crowd us, man. We got all the time in the world to figure out and all our idiosyncrasies and all figuring each other out. You got to give us some room. Room to breathe. That's it. Yeah, I know you have your life. You got your home girls. We got our homeboys, whatever the case. But you got to give us some room. Because we were people before we met you. We were individuals before we met you. Number 4, let go of the past, man. Women are like computers, man. They hold on to every piece of megabit relationship data in a relationship. Man, I tell you, where one argument you can't have because that argument is branched off into 3 other arguments that was done 15 years ago. You remember the time when you did it? I'm like, yo, listen, yo, you gotta wipe that clean, man. You gotta wipe that motherboard that's in your brain. That's the past now. We're not even dealing with that no more. It's something new. We gonna deal with that, but let's not go back. Let's not, backpedal to back in the day in the time machine and say, yo, isn't time supposed to heal all wounds? Remember that? And lastly, man, ghost exes. Ghost exes, you got to be willing to let go of old relationships. Please don't remind me of what your ex didn't do or did and compare it to what we doing now. And then I could go both ways, But please don't bring up that dude. I don't care about that dude. That was the past, another place, another time, another season. That was the past. That was it. That you gotta let that was college years. That was high school years if you're in 2025. If you're 35, come on, that was when you're 20s. No, we're a whole lot mature now, right? Yeah, so that's my thing. Too emotional, number one. Number two, you can't have your cake and eat it too. 3, don't be clingy. 4, let go of the past, man. Whatever arguments that happened back there, leave it back there. And lastly, ghost exes, man, don't compare me to old exes. And I think those are 5 flags of a bad relationship. You hear that outside? Yeah, man. I mean, this is New York City. You're gonna hear all that. Matter of fact, actually, I'm gonna be honest. My neighbor is drilling downstairs, so you don't hear it in the show. You don't hear it in this segment because I cut it out. Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? Yes. My neighbor is drilling, and I'm gonna leave that one in to show you how frustrated I am right now trying to record this segment. Whoa. Okay, anyway, let's go into some music. What we got going, man? I love music. We love this part. I love these segments of good old music. We're gonna just switch up a little bit. We're gonna get into some rock. Look, I mostly do hip hop and R&B, but I do get into some other genres because I like to break the rhythm sometimes. I like to break and go into other directions just to give my ears a break and to go into whether it's a top 40, whether it's country music, whether it's pop, rock, indie rock, whatever the case. You guys have heard it here on the show before, EDM. That's what I do. As a matter of fact, I might just have a show just straight rock joints just to be different because it's my podcast. Anyway, so we're going to get into Mean Woman by Dorothea. She's out of Seattle, Washington, and she has a song called Mean Woman. And I dig that song. It's a little different, a different speed, a different energy. And in this age of the internet and music streaming and all these different things, this shouldn't be new to you. So we're going to check out Mean Woman. And right up behind this lovely lady is Zill. Two different ways. And he got a dope song called Vibe Alone, man. He's coming out of Los Angeles. Right down there south of Seattle, Washington, coming out of Los Angeles, Zill, with his song called Vibe Alone. We're going to get into these two, and we'll be right back. All right.
Hey, turn it up. GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
She'll take you by surprise, she always does. And her words, they cut like knives, sharp to the touch. Got emotions that'll shake you to your core. Like a drug, she keeps you coming back for more. On your knees, say please, you're begging for more. She says, honey, come and please me. I know it ain't easy to love a girl like me. She says, don't you ever leave me. I'll try to make it easier to love a girl like me. Mean woman, she's a mean woman. Mean woman, can't get away. Me woman, she'll take you out and ask you to pay. Got you wrapped around her finger, yeah, you love her anyway. Me woman, she can act like a lady when she wants to, but she's just a femme fatale. All the girls know her tricks. Yeah, she's shady, but you love her anyway. Me woman, yeah. Me woman, indeed, indeed. You got a me woman, yeah. Me woman, indeed, indeed. She's a me woman, indeed, indeed. She's all I need. Woman, so me. She's all I need. Woman, so me. She's a me woman, indeed.
You know what you're rocking to?
Rocking with the best.
Only the best. GCOM Radio.
I just wanna let you know, I'm just gonna vibe alone. If you gon' swing and roll, no, I can't share this soul. Doing 90, you know it. Break it all down to the bed. Doing 90, you know it. Never fall in love in a day. Pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games, pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games. I just wanna let you know, I just tiptoe on foes, I'm just gonna ride alone, I just get the bag and go, make sure my cup is poured, pour a little out on the floor, counting to the stack, I'm sore, then I put it all in the drawer, I just had to let one go, she was on life support, she kept her swag on low, something I did not know, phone ringing, who's calling, telling me that they want this, just pulled up, I'm falling, I'll be right back in the morning, I just wanna let you know, I'm just gonna vibe alone, if you gon' swing and roll, no, I can't share this soul, doing 90, you know it, break it all down to the bed, doing 90, you know it, never fall in love in a day. Pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games, pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games. I know that I got it, I'ma take off like a rocket, your baby girl out of pocket, I'm at the crib tryna vibe it, yeah, slide in, yeah, oh my bad, skirt, skirt on that gas, probably gon' make you mad, probably gon' take that chance. I just wanna let you know, all of my vibes is on. Pulling up with my bro. No, I can't trust a soul. Tryna find out where I stay. They ain't love me anyway. Got me on 10 all day. There ain't no hoes I save. I just wanna let you know, I'm just gon' vibe alone. If you gon' swing and roll, no, I can't share this soul. Doing 90, you know it. Break it all down to the bed. Doing 90, you know it. Never fall in love in a day. Pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games. Pull up, stop, swing, doors open, swing, pull up, stop, swing, no, we don't play those games.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a Lyfer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
All right, so we have returned, and you just heard Mead Woman with Dorothea, coming out of Seattle, Washington, and Zill, right down south of Seattle, Los Angeles, with his song Vibe Alone. Two dope artists, two dope vibes. Oh man, I'm digging both of them. I want to hear a little bit more of Dorothea, what she got in her how would I say, library of music, MP3s or MP4s, whatever you want to call them, wave files. What else she got going on? So yeah, man, shout out to both of them. Lovely songs, dope joints. So before we go into segment 2, you know what we got to do. We got to get into business of the week, and this, oh my God, is a lovely treat. I had a couple of them, but this one, it was a last minute edition. And this is for my brother out on the continent in Africa. And you love this one. So check out the business of the week. Lovely. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for that girl.
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders is what you've been waiting for.
The automotive industry is a competitive business regardless of what country you come from. It's not easy breaking into this market with a new car brand. You have to blow away your competition and convince the consumer your product is as good as the traditional brands. One thing's for sure, this does not make Tatenda Mongofa break a sweat. Mr. Mongofa is the founder of Mareza Prime 8. Mareza meaning flag or banner. They plan to become the flagship of the African automotive industry. Along with Miss Philade Chilowane and Miss Thulisa Sosibo, the company will present their vehicle to the world. Right now, the South African-based company is making their presence felt in the SADC South African region. Partnering in the joint venture with SEPA, an Iranian car manufacturer, the vehicle will hit the South African market this year. The Mareza matches all current brands in terms of safety, engine power, and interior tech. This vehicle is priced from 120,000 to 200,000 Rand. In American dollars, it would roughly be $6,000 to $10,000. Lyfeblood.com would like to congratulate Mr. Mongofa and the whole team for materializing this automobile on the African continent and hopefully building the brand for a global reach. Go to Mareza, MUREZA.co.za for more info. Okay, yeah, that was dope, right? That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Having this vehicle take its place in South Africa and on the continent, and hopefully moving over more on an international level, so we could sell it in Europe and Africa. United States and South America. Let's see what happens, man. All right, so we're gonna get into the second segment. Now, this is interesting. On Friday, May 1st, Tesla, or excuse me, more so Elon Musk, tweeted out that he is selling all of his possessions, his private belongings, selling all of his houses, all 7, he's saying, all worth to around a total of $100 million. And he says the Tesla stocks are way too high, which is triggering some sell-off that Friday morning. I haven't looked at the stock since then, but I thought that was interesting. So someone on Twitter responded saying that, you're doing it because you need the cash or something like that, or you just protesting to see the world burn, seeing the protests, the world burning down, something like that. So he responds, Elon Musk, he says, don't need the cash, devote myself to Mars and Earth, possession just weighs you down. That's what he says word for word. You can go check his Twitter account. And he tweeted it on Friday, May 1st. Now, this is interesting. Now, it's talking about worldly possessions and the things that we acquire as we get more wealthy in our success. You see a lot of these celebrities with, a myriad, and not just celebrities. And matter of fact, even for instance, the sheikhs over there in the Middle East, Egypt, probably Jordan, wherever they are. and you see they got tons of cars. And I'm not sweating that. That's cool. I can dig it if that's what you want to do. Listen, with some of these sheikhs, they got billions and billions of dollars, man. They're spending millions like it's $10 or $5. It's nothing to them because they're oil billionaires and damn near trillionaires. The amount of oil they pumping out, and they just got all this money and they don't even know what to do with it. So, but I'm not sweating that. If they got one, they have a garage the size of a mini mansion. That's fine. They got like 50 cars. That's fine. That's just what it is, right? But then you get to thinking, like, after you acquire all of these things, after a person, male or female, acquires all of these things, what does it really mean? Really? But once you have it all, the boats and the houses and the cars and 100 millions in the bank, really, what does it all mean? Does it have any value? Yes, financial value, but what value does it mean for you? Because after a while, it just becomes just material things. They're objects. They're like, okay, well, I got, because once, of course, you get that rush, you get that first like Bugatti. It's like, yo, I got the Bugatti. Nobody got the Bugatti. Nobody. Only a few people, even a few people in my circle and the money that I'm making in my tax bracket, even they don't have this Bugatti. But then after the third Bugatti, the fourth Bugatti, the fifth one, after the Ferraris and the Porsches and the Lamborghinis, what does it all mean? Because after a while, it's like, I actually saw online, they had, I think it was a storm that happened in the Middle East or something or other. It was something that happened, and in the aftermath, you saw like Ferraris just left collecting dust, like literally Ferraris, like brand new, just collecting dust, because they said something like they could come into the country, they could buy these cars, but they can't leave with them or something like that. And you have like $200,000 cars just looking like any beat up Honda, 50-year-old Hyundai or something like that. So possessions to them is a different thing. What? 200,000? But to them it's like, whatever. You're like, but what does it mean? They're just inanimate objects. You don't take it with you. You don't take it with you when you die. One of the old graves back in the days, and you see this thing, you see them burying themselves with their jewels and all these valuables, and it really, I mean, are they taking that? Well, of course we don't know, because we're not going into the next the afterlife, so we have no. But we know after this, that's it. Even in the ethereal plane, even when you step into and you transition, those material things don't mean anything. Now I can dig wealth when you passing it down to your kids. I can dig that, because you don't want the next generation under you, your grandkids and your great-greats and your great-greats, and they're broken and you're starting all over. Yeah, I get that. If you become filthy rich, you're gonna put some money away for them, of course, because you don't want them to suffer as you suffer. Or maybe you're born rich and you don't want them to be poor. So I get it. But really, the unhealthy acquirement of wealth, to what end? Billions, trillions, quadrillions. But then there's so many other people starving. That's why I was going off of the whole thing with my opinion. Again, I shout out to Kanye. He's a billionaire. That's cool. But what does that mean for entire Chicago? And then another person would say, well, and then another person would say, well, he's not indebted to Chicago, to the people. But if you shout out Chi-Town, your memories are from that place, that local region, your friends and family and all that. There's that emotional tie to this location. So you think that you can help those people, and that's on you. That's your choice if you want to make it. But really, what does it mean? What are our material possessions compared to what's really important? Really, when you gain, that's why you have, these people with issues and they have money. So what is really your point? What is truly valued to the human being? So is it abundant food, prime health, mental and physical, quality family life, better marriages? Look, if only the people in, say, for the United States, if only the total population, out of the total population, 20% got married and it lasted, I would be happy with that. Also, technology is improving people's quality of life, inner peace, inner peace and personal advancements. These are the things of what human beings would value, right? And I think a good portion of a society is dysfunctional. When I say 20% of marriages, when it comes to that, a good part, they say 50% of marriages end up in divorce. And they always use that. Everybody goes to it. 50% of marriages in the United States end up in divorce. But we don't ask the questions, why did that 50% end up in divorce? Because I feel a good portion of the American society is dysfunctional. We have all sorts of dysfunctional shit going on with us, man. From our childhood, from how our friends treated us, how our extended family treated us. If we were abused, whether it's a sexual abuse, whether it's physical abuse, verbal abuse, things that all extended family, all types of things. You know, were we neglected? Were we neglected? This is what adds to our dysfunction. And then you have a lot of people living with the shit. You don't got no time or energy or money to really deal with the root causes of your dysfunction. So you live with it. You carry that baggage with you. And you carry that baggage with you right into marriage. And that's how 50% of the people end up divorced. We don't really deal with our dysfunction because in a capitalist society, we don't have time. We don't. And I'm being very honest, as a capitalist, we don't have time. That's why people end up in divorce. And I've heard of many of those cases. Now, listen, unhappiness still exists with the rich. Depression and suicide happens just as much with rich people than it does with poor people. So it doesn't have anything to do with money. It have nothing to do with money. Money doesn't bring you happiness. There are poor people over in other third world countries, smiles on their faces, they don't mind. And studies have been done on this as far as how do we gauge happiness. And people that you think would be depressed are not. And they have less material things than how you would have people in first world countries. Artists and celebrities struggle. They kill themselves. And we're surprised. They're people just like us. They chose a job that involves fame. Because what they do is no different. They got the same issues, the same dysfunctions as we do. And they have money and they have all the access and excess. And yet they still feel that they're in struggle. They still feel unhappy. They still, unfortunately, end up committing suicide. So what does it mean to have all this money? What does it mean? Now, it's great that the rich do give away their money. They know this. There's this movie, I can't remember it. I'll talk about it next time. But it was this kid that he shot his own film. It's a documentary. It was on rich people. And I was talking about with my brother with this, and he was with the ultra elite, and they didn't even want him filming. His friends, the parents' friends, but he gave an insight to everyone what it is to be part of the ultra elite. And it's amazing. It's fascinating to just peek into that life for the 1% or the top 3 or the top 5, whatever. And how they just coast through life, but yet they still have the same problems. Some of them don't like their wealth because they get educated. They see the disparities between the rich and the poor, and they feel guilty. Or they have their own issues, as I said before, and they end up inflicting pain on themselves. Or imploding and doing something real rebellious to the family. Say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do. It was a whole bunch of, I can't remember this. Oh, man, I wish I could remember this. But anyway, that's not the point. And they do bestow the untold, ungodly amounts of money on colleges, charities, and nonprofits. They give money away. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I bring this up because I want to know What does it mean to be rich? Because a lot of people that are poor feel like, I wish I was rich. I wish I had money. And I think it doesn't mean it. Of course, the quality of life would be astronomically better. But once you get past all those things, you got to deal with who? You. Because you live with you your entire life. And I think, I'm not saying or to stop people or discourage people from actually gaining wealth or success and however you want to see it. But don't let it take hold of you. Because it means nothing at the end of the day. To me, if I earn money, I want to be able to distribute it to people in my community while I'm alive. That's how I feel. If I earn $1 billion, and if I'm a multi-billionaire, like some of the top 1%, just look, it's like, I can't imagine having just barrel loads of, I think I said this, and then other people are starving. I actually want to fix things. And I think the problems that we deal with that's happening in Chi-Town, that's happening in poor countries, in poor states across America, black or white, whatever the case, I think it's very solvable. And I think those issues could be solved in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. That's why I don't want to hear a politician, have those fake feelings in front of the cameras. Oh my God, I feel for these people. We're going to do something. No, it's not hard. Education, jobs, housing, affordable housing, good health care. That don't take a lot. Providing people access, it's not rocket science. It's not. Of course, people that are born poor, they've been raised in poverty, so they take on a lot of bad habits because they've been impoverished. I'm not. Of course, when you from the hood, you're gonna walk away with some issues, post-traumatic stress syndrome, or however PTSD or whatever you want to call it. Certain things, and then they get rich. They say they're rappers or whatever. They get rich, but the hood comes with them. They leave the hood, but the hood's still in them. And it takes time for them to understand. It takes time. Jay-Z today is not the Jay-Z of Reasonable Doubt. Jay-Z is a grown, mature man, a father with kids. And he understands, listen, that's not my life no more. I'm in a whole other part of my life. So what are these billions worth once you're successful? And I want success for everybody. And your idea of success is different from my idea of success. Some people say, listen, I just want to be able to feed my family, have my house, and that's all they want to go. That's as far as they go. But then in success with people on millions and all this, and they, you take it as far as you want to take it. But once you acquire all this wealth, what does it mean? What does it mean? And that's a question that you got to ask yourself. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Let's get some music going. So in our next group of songs that we have for you, we're going to throw back on Cooley High. They played on the show before. Would Never Come Down. They out of North Carolina. These brothers is cool, man. Cooley High. Looking forward to hearing some more music. And right behind Cooley High is Prince the Motto. He's got a new record out. His new record, I'm going to say it right now. And I want to make sure I got it. And, even if I don't say it on the show, I'll definitely put it out there on my IG account for this guy, Prince the Motto. And his record is called Scandalous Survives 1.5. It's out now on all streaming sites. And also Zill has a project out as well. I should have put that on. I'll put it on my IG, man. But check out Cooley High, Never Come Down out of North Carolina. And Prince the Motto with his song off his record, Ecstasy. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, we all over the place. That's what I like, man. Getting music from all over the place. And you'll check out these two folks. Cooley High and Prince the Motto. All right, coming up.
Something that you can't believe in, man. Who you college, I was spitting up your mama's titty milk. Spinning silk up in the studio to leave your city killed. With many skills, take a microphone and mold myself a masterpiece.
Sending food past the beats, flow is on the salary. I check mics, we getting all of these cash funds. It's Charlie and Tab 1 week.
Party and have fun, so spark it and pass one. We started a long time ago. Now the family getting Grammys, names inside the envelope.
Them labels never signed them though. They been looking high and low. You cannot take me out my zone and we ain't fall Geronimo. Sounding like a fight song, I'm Tyson, my mic on.
The maestro is ice cold, we might blow like nitro. Flipping like Pastrana from gone out to Ghana. It's an honor, run it like a Honda, harder than a sauna. Take your favorite rapper, turn their ass into a fucking goner.
Spark the marijuana, I'ma take it farther, partner. You can put that promise on my mama. Yeah.
That every time you see them, it's a goal. Who you need to give you something that you can believe in, man? Who you like? They sound like Cooley. Who you with? Cause lately I've been feeling like the shit, and I swear that we ain't never coming down, never coming down. Not us, no, I know, hey, we ain't never coming down, never coming down. I love it, it's how it's gonna stay. I know y'all been waiting. We was on hiatus, but this time we ain't playing. We forever one sound, we ain't never coming down. Never coming down, 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 never coming down.
Oh man,
Check this out.
we're going in with another one.
It's on.
GCOM Radio.
If you let me, girl, I'll take you right to ecstasy. Girl, your body looks alright when you walk next to me. I just wanna spend some time and hold you tight. Don't listen to your friends, don't take advice. Girl, you looking at me and it feel like your body so thick and it feel like you grinding on me and it feel like ecstasy. Girl, I wanna take your body right to ecstasy. We gon' spend some time. 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 Girl, you know I want you, and you know I adore you. A nigga really can't afford you. I'm the only nigga for you. Baby, just sit back and feel my vibes. I'ma show you how I feel inside. If you let me, girl, I'll take you right to ecstasy. Girl, your body looks alright when you walk next to me. I just wanna spend some time and hold you tight. Don't listen to your friends, don't take advice. When a nigga roll your back, you say it feel like I can't wait to lay up with you. It's like when a nigga deep inside, it feel like girl, I wanna take your body right to ecstasy. I just wanna fade away. I just wanna fade away. I just wanna fade away. Money ain't a thing, wanna fade away. Money ain't a thing, wanna fade away. Yeah, I wanna fade away. Yeah, I wanna fade away. Money ain't a thing. Yeah, I wanna fade away. Go to a different place. Yeah, go to a different place. Crazy. Yeah, I wanna drink crazy. Yeah, I wanna drink crazy. Yeah, I wanna drink crazy. If you let me, girl, I'll take you right to ecstasy. Girl, your body looks alright when you walk next to me. I just wanna spend some time and hold you tight. Don't
Yeah, that was Cooley High Would Never Come Down from North Carolina. And Prince the Model, his record is out. Remember, it's Scandalous of Eyes 1.5, and his song was Ecstasy off that project. Shout out to Las Vegas. All right, so we're going to just get into the next segment of, we got to do the news you need to know, man. Let's get into it and get this show rocking and rolling. All right, the news you need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
Making your own hand sanitizer. While we're in the full throw of this coronavirus, people have been voracious in their shopping, acquiring the much needed items to fight off the virus in their homes. Hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, etc. There are a lot of people pulling out their hair on these hard to purchase items. No worries. You can make your own hand sanitizer. Now, mind you, it's not better than the good old-fashioned hand washing, but it will definitely keep you from running out. Here are the ingredients. 1 cup 99% isopropyl alcohol, 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide, 1 teaspoon of 98% glycerin, and 1/4 cup of sterile distilled or boiled cold water. Now, to start with, to mix the ingredients, you do A, add the alcohol in a medium-sized container with a pouring spout. B, add the glycerin and stir. Glycerin is thicker than alcohol and hydrogen peroxide, so it'll take time to combine everything. C, measure and pour in the water. D, sanitize your spray bottles and pour in your hand sanitizer. And lastly, E, label your bottles to ensure no one mistakes the bottles for anything else. Now, for softer feeling hand sanitizer, mix 1 cup of alcohol, 1/2 cup of aloe vera gel, and 15 drops of tea tree oil in a bowl. Whisk energetically until it is a well-mixed gel. Now, pour the liquid into the bottle and label. Voila, you have your own hand sanitizer. Best alternatives to Zoom video conferencing. Everybody is using Zoom video, but there are several more that can be considered for communication with the people you need to stay in contact with. There's a Skype Meet Now, a Cisco WebEx, Google Meet, Hangouts, Starleaf, Jitsi Meet, and Whereby. All great alternatives to see the ones you love or when you need to handle business with people in your neighboring state or across the world. Go to theverge.com for further descriptions of these video conferencing services. And that is the news you need to know. All right, that was great to hear. Hopefully you guys will make your own sanitizer because people can't find their own sanitizer here. You might as well make your own. You know, it's crazy. What we're spending, it's times is crazy. These times are so nuts, man. From food to jobs, and how people gonna work, and you know what the states are doing, what the governors are doing, the ones doing right, and the ones that are doing wrong. The mayors that are tied in with all this, and they have to, you know, they're responsible for their people, but the governors are going ahead, you know. Man, we're not gonna make it out of this probably in the next 2 years, man. I think, to me, because it's just hard. Because it's just hard because the second wave, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit, and you know you see all these people protesting. And stuff. By the way, I didn't even get into the things as far as protesting. You know, those cats in Michigan, man, that were protesting, they went down. Is it Michigan? Oh my God. And it got me tight. Let me see here. Let me bring it up because I want to get this right. This happened last week. It's like Thursday. I think it happened. Boom. So these pro-gun activists, which is madness. So damn, I can't see this site. These paywalls kill me, man. These paywalls kill me. So anyway, these guys with guns show up in the Michigan State Capitol, and they were pretty much protesting the stay-at-home sheltering-in law that was happening. And they brought their guns, and you know they were allowed to come into the state capitol. They were allowed to walk into the state capitol with their guns. Now I was watching this, and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this a Second Amendment protest? No, we talking about protesting because they don't feel they have a right to shelter in, because they want to get get haircuts, go back to work. But then they were like, it was like militias, and they had their weapons and tactical gear. It was like looking something out of what do you call it? One of those video games where it's post-apocalyptic, and you setting up factions. It was surreal. And Senator Dana Polahanki, she said directly above me in her Twitter, men with rifles yelling at us. Some of my colleagues who own bulletproof vests are wearing them. I have never appreciated our sergeant at arms more than today. What the fuck does guns or bringing guns to a protest got to do with how you feel? What does it have to do? And sometimes I got to question the motivations and the agendas of some of these people. Because to me, it should be against the law to walk up into any state capitol. Now, they were questioned, and these folks were told, the officials, or I guess the law enforcement that's holding down they said it's okay as long as they show their weapons and where everybody can see. It's not illegal to have an open carry in the state of Michigan. And it's okay for them to roll up in the building with their guns in hand. I can't believe this. To me, any state capitol, unless it's something that's specific, even if it's specific Second Amendment rights, and I'm a Second Amendment person, I believe in the right to bear arms, but and it's got to make sense. It's got to be logical. And for them to me, it was sending such a message. This had nothing to do with gun rights. To me, this is about pressure of violence. We telling you we want these doors open. We want to go back to the work, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you my guns. It was sending a message. It was sending a message that, yeah, we can get crazy up in here. We light this whole shit up. That's the message I received, which caused those government officials to have to wear bulletproof vests. To me, it's just disgusting. And then for Trump to say, oh, those are very fine people. Amazes me that this is being said and being allowed in the United States of America. Now, like I said it before, every face should be taken pictures of, because they're part of these militias. One of the prominent Michigan, what is it called? One of these militias. Let me see if I can scroll down here. Michigan has been an epicenter of Republican. It was gun carrying. I can't find. I saw it. Michigan Liberty Militia. The quote-unquote American Patriot Rally started on the State House steps, where members of the Michigan Liberty Militia stood guard with weapons and tactical gear, their faces partially covered. Amazing. Yo, that's listen. To me, if I'm a part of the government, I'm Secret Service, I'm the FBI, I'm any of the letter organizations, and I'm watching this, I would be watching it intently and looking at every face, because all I see is Timothy McVeigh's. Me, if I was one part of the letter gang, because to me, I would feel uneasy, because there's going to be a nut somewhere in that group going to set off a shot, whether it was on purpose to say the fool was an idiot and set off that round by accident. You know the extreme intensity of the moment for those officers or the security or law enforcement that's on there holding back that crowd. You know the tenseness that would be if somebody accidentally set off a round up in there. And they can say, oh no, we're professionals. That would never happen. I'm just saying, that's why you shouldn't have assault weapons up in the State House if you're protesting about something that got nothing to do with guns. Crazy. Anyway, so moving on to that segment. So here we go. We're going to go into, it's about the far left going too far. Sometimes they go too far. So this is my thoughts. Why I feel about this. So Biden is the guy. Biden is the guy. Yeah, folks, get over it. All the burner boys, all the people behind Elizabeth Warren. Biden is the guy. He's going to be the man that's going to be running against Trump. Now, yeah, I get it, though, you know, how the media handle it, how the politicians handpick Biden as a winner. Yeah, I get it. We could complain about that from sun up to sundown, but it is the case. Here we are, folks. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we doing this. And I think a good portion of the voters were leaning towards Bernie, because Bernie went off. He went off like gangbusters. But anyway, he lost steam, whether, you know, we have evidence of some technology that was happening. Now, anyway, he lost steam. Elizabeth Warren really was out of there. So maybe I changed my thought on that people were behind her, because she really was, I don't know, it was crazy. So anyway, but the thing is, Biden's health is questionable. How did nobody see Biden's health deteriorating 3 months, 2 months, 1 month before he made the decision to run? And you couldn't switch this dude out quick. Like, hey, listen, all right, look, this ain't gonna work out. Let's try to get somebody up in here, somebody else. Nah. It looks like, I'm gonna be honest, it looks like Biden is on at the very beginning stages of dementia. He can't hold a sentence. He forgets things. He rambles into things that he can't have just a well thought out sentence or two as a rebuttal to someone talking to him or as answering a question. When he's on stage, he can't hold his thought. And I'm like, what? And I was extremely upset about that. But here we are. So it's Biden versus Trump. And what gets me upset, I still see a lot of hardcore leftists like destroying Biden and talking. I know he ain't 100%. But they destroying, you got the sex case against him and all this. Yes, I get it. I get it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I just find it curious that I think people are weaponizing in some ways. Whether it happened or not, I think people are weaponizing the bad behavior of these politicians. And it just comes out the right time. Never came out 5 years ago, but it just comes out interesting at the right time during this election cycle. So, listen, I appreciate this dude. He represents the people. He talks about police brutality, and I'm with it all the way. Whenever some things is on his profile and I see what's happening, I definitely are behind it. I make calls myself, everything like that when it comes to the injustices that are happening in this country. But then he's still Sean King, because he was backing Bernie. He's still knocking Biden. I'm like, hold on a second, bro. What you doing? I get it, I get it. But all you're doing is weakening Biden's support. And you're going to allow this dude Trump to get in. This guy is switching out judges on the circuit level, the circuit courts. Switching out these judges in these circuit courts. And then we got issues with the Supreme Court judges. He's switching them out for more conservative ones. Not even saying conservative, nut jobs. Bro, shut the fuck up. I understand how you feel about Biden, but easy. I don't want Trump to get back in. I'm going to be real. I can't. No. There's too much at risk here. So you got to deal with it. And you have to, I think people, the left, the hardcore left, is going off the deep end. Now, there's certain things that we're not going to agree with. There's certain things we're not going to agree with what Biden done in his past. I get it. But right now, these are not normal times. And I think you have to start thinking long-term, because that's what politicians do. They think long-term. They think 10, 15, 20 years down the line. And that's how you have to start thinking. The hard lefts go off the deep end because it's funny. The right, they don't give a fuck about what the left think. They like, listen, we doing this. I don't care what you think about how many votes you're going to put on. We doing it anyway. They be bogarting the Republicans. Bogarting. And when the Democrats come in, every time they do something and then the Republicans don't like it and they lose, okay, well, and they start losing, all right, well, we got to follow the rule of law. And all the Republicans be beating their chest. Democrats be, oh my God, soft. And then all of a sudden, we can't do this. And all these, the extreme left are always on this moral high ground, superior morality. And if that's not met by the candidate that they have to look at, they have to tear this man down. Tear whoever down. I'm like, you are doing a disservice to yourself, to the agenda that you want. And sometimes you're not going to get what you want now, but in the long run, maybe you can head them off at the curve. It's about strategizing. There's short-term objectives and long-term objectives. And right now, Biden has to fit within the long-term objective. He has to. We got no choice. We can't let this fool in. Trump, I'm talking about. So if we got to carry this Biden fellow and prop him up right to the inauguration, sit his old ass down, put him to the side, and because we all know the presidency is not one person, it's multiple people. That's what the presidency is. He's just a figurehead. If we got to sit him in that seat, let him sit in. Hey, listen, just take a seat, Mr. Biden. Just take it, President Biden. Just take a seat. We'll take it from here for the next 4 years. That's what they did with Reagan. Reagan was deteriorating in his second term. That's what you got to do with Biden. We got to, hey, man, hey, it is what it is. It's going to be Weekend at Bernie's. Whatever that old movie was. Carrying around that dead body. That's where you got to carry around this dude. This dementia is eating it. Put him to the side and make it run, because this fool will get it. And then after 4 years, we could get someone of sound mind. And okay, you with me now? Hopefully, the Republicans are still tainted in 2024. But we can't afford to not have this guy up in here. My mic falling up. I'm hitting up the table. Falling over. I'm tightening. Let me tighten this. We can't afford it. And then another thing, the problem with the left, they want to do with votes. Oh my God, the votes. Well, we need to do a voting block. We have to show you, hey man, listen, we all know right now the votes don't do it right now. We know that's not the only thing you do. It's been compromised. The vote has been compromised. You got the popular vote, the people vote, and then you got the electoral votes. And obviously, that's a mechanism put in place to make sure the people don't get who they want in. And number two, money supersedes who you vote for. It don't matter who you vote for. The money supersedes that. Your politicians are paid for. We understand this. This is common sense. So you can't come in, well, we got to do a voting block. We got to do a voting block, yeah, because then we got to vote for our agenda. No, man, because once you vote and they get in, they leave your ass outside in the cold. What can you have that you can leverage to make sure that politicians will keep to your agenda, to keep to your interests? Remember, right now, you are strategizing on a weakened position, and you just can't leave it up to voting alone. It's about the long game. The Trump, he needs his immediate exit. That's right now, that's a short-term goal. Look, he's incompetent, dumb, racist, sexist, greedy, and he represents only the rich. That's the only reason why they tolerate this guy, because he carries out their bidding. Let me tell you the greatest hustle. You know what the greatest hustle is in this country? You know what is the greatest hustle in this country? Thinking that the ones in power, let me go over. Thinking, the poor now, thinking that their interests aligns with the ones in power. They don't care. Do you have $5 million tucked in your pocket? And I can't see, and I'm saying for both Republicans and Democrats, and they're doing this fighting. Well, it's the Democrats, and then it's the Republicans. They don't care. They will use you. And then I see people fighting so hard. Well, this person's gonna do. No, they don't, man. Them days are gone. Stop thinking like that. Because it's not about ideas anymore. Idea is one thing. But the other 15,000-pound elephant in the room is money. You ain't got it. And they do. And when they go up in there, they have all these other representatives of these companies come and say, hey, man, look, I'll give you a little money right there. And all of a sudden, all the fighting you was doing before slowly gets eaten away. Understand what I'm saying? The greatest hustle is thinking that the poor's interest is the same as the ones in power, the rich. Remember, presidencies are just more than one man. It's more than one man. And government is more than the people you see on camera. There's a whole thing that's happening behind the scenes when you pull back the curtain. And if you want this country to work for the people, you're going to have to start throwing out everything that you've ever learned in your poli-sci class, in college, in fucking Berkeley, in fucking, I don't know, whatever colleges, universities. And you're the politically driven young youth. It's not going to happen by votes. Because I think to myself, if I vote for this guy, and he's shaking my hand, and I'm meeting him at all these rallies and all these things, and he's, you know, looking nice and tight, and he wins, how do I know he's going to carry through what he said he was going to tell me he was going to carry through? How do I know? I voted for him. Now he's going to get in. So how do we keep them, whoever you select as your representative, how do you keep them aligned with your interests once they get into the door? Because once they get in, they're in the door. Yay! Think of it, just literally like a house. And you're cheering this guy on and lady on. And you want them to get them into that house, you get them to that house, and everybody's outside outside the lawn. Yeah, all right, yeah. And you say, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it for the people. We did it. Free healthcare. And he's shouting out all these things to the crowd, and they got their posters and their signs and everything. He got his sleeves rolled up. All right. And everybody votes for the guy. You got him. And the door opens, and there's just blackness behind that door. The door opens. The guy walks in. All right, we did it. He closes the door, and people still cheering. Yes. We don't know what's going on back there. You just let the dude waltz up in there alone and naked. And you expect him to carry your own agenda. He can say whatever he wants. Well, we're trying. You know, we thought we could get this done, and then you get mad. 2 years into this term, ain't nothing shifted. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I'm saying you can't keep on doing the same thing the same way. It's been done like that for the last 30, 40 years. How can you hold their feet to the fire? How do you make sure that they bring your agenda once he gets into that, or she gets into that door? How do you make sure they carry that along? And how do you make sure that he's not going to get pressured financially from all, because that's what they're doing as soon as they get in. Hey man, look. So, the far left needs to shift. We don't need far left anymore. This Jesus Christ-like figure that they want. 2.5 kids, white picket fence. Nah, man, that's not gonna work. We way behind. That's the illusion. That's the smoke and mirrors, man. That's the sell. That's all they trying to do. I don't care about all that. How you gonna roll your sleeves up, put on the gloves, and let's go in? Let's go in. What Samson had to do? What Samson had to cut his hair? He's still asking God, and he's like, God, listen, give me strength. God, give me strength one last time. He said, give me strength one last time. I fucked up. Give me strength, God. You can't just go in there thinking you just gonna glad hand people and smile your way and letting your thing, your agenda or your policies, whatever you want, is just gonna you're gonna roll it out on a golden scroll and things gonna work. Nah, it's not gonna work like that. Anyway, all right, guys, I talked enough. I appreciate you guys listening to me. Once again, I have to say that because you're tuned in for another show. You tuned in and you listen to me and you listen to these artists and they're all dope. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to all the artists that's on the show with their music. From Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, North Carolina, Las Vegas, every which way. We ping-ponging all over the states and around the world. So thank you for listening to me. Join up. Be a lifer. See the commercial. You go to my YouTube page, Lyfeblood.com /GCOM radio /DS Entertainment. See the video. See the other shows that's on there too. So you can see that commercial. Share it. Share it on your Twitter. Share it on your IG. Do whatever you want. This is where we start this community. We are setting out the call. We are sending out the call. The Great Reset. Here's our opportunity. It's an opportunity to empower the people, to empower us. And then you can have $1 billion company. I'm gonna lie, that's where we going. We have $1 billion company, but I'm gonna show you what $1 billion company should be doing. Anyway, thank you guys. Shout out to everybody. Join Lyfeblood.com, become a lifer, build your network. Just share a minimum of $1 per month. You know what it is. And whatever. Physicists, marine biologists, mathematicians, engineers, anybody that has new inventions, new technologies that you need to get funded, here is where we get it going. Lyfeblood.com. All right, guys, we out of here. Thank you for listening. All right, peace.
Yo, check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town, we out.